What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Bitcoin and cryptocurrency update video. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. This is where we're going to take a look at the charts. We're going to remove all emotional opinions and to try to keep a nice, cool, calm, collected look on the markets here. And what we can see from last video that we uploaded, which was all the way back here on this channel, October 14th, pretty much price here trading around the same price. Essentially what's taking place is we said a couple things would happen last time. That number one, if we make a new all-time high like we did here, our base case is that price is just going to be pretty much soaring from this moment on. And you can see for the most part, almost did so, other than we did the second option that we gave where we had our little bull flag kind of form right over here, where you can see price cooled off for a second up here, which did a couple things for us, and we're going to backtrack why it's important. But number one, it flipped the previous resistance of $58,000, $60,000 region over here, where you can see all the previous touch points here, into critical support right now, which from a bullish perspective is exactly what you want to see. Anytime you turn a significant level of resistance into support like that, it should be a nice continuation move forward. On top of that though, this continuation pattern was met with a perfect bull flag, something like this guy right here, which we could do a couple things right here. If this is how the bull flag plays out, this was the breakout right here. So any of the entries could be right here at the moment, the stop loss placed below the wick right here. So you're risking a couple percent here for your reward to be a potential measured move from the bottom of the flagpole here to the top of the flagpole here. We're just going to take it, bring it all the way over here to the top. The breakout point happened here. Boom, puts us a price target at about, we get it on the screen for you guys, about 87,000. Which, I mean, we've been talking about this for time and time again ever since price has really been up in this region anyways. Anytime price passes this high here and goes up for the new all-time highs, really targeting at least 80 to 100 in some change $1,000 at this point. You can see that these bull flags, they really do like to play out. The last one that was met was actually the bottom here to the top here. And you can see that we measured the move from here. It was also on our other videos from before. And you can see we met the target perfectly on this one as well. And we also actually met this one back here, tripped down memory lane when Bitcoin was first trading up to its $40,000 high, like 42,000 here. Price traded up from what, like $17,000, $18,000. Let me fix that, perfect right here. And then the breakout happened over here, and you can see we met that target as well, about 58,000, and that's when it never did that before. So that was pretty cool to see in real time. You can see it similarly played out where we broke out of the bull flag down here, and it took a few days to confirm support on here before then resuming off. So could be what we are seeing over here right now. Price broke out of it, holding on to it at the moment right here. If you're waiting for another conservative entry and you're just waiting, then I would say wait for the break of this line right here. So any day here really, because this is a really tight range. And likewise, we always have the risk to the downside right before we hop over and confirm like what this was really significant wise. We'll look at where we at in the cycle, but the risk to the downside from here would be a loss of really this $58,000 level, all the resistance over here. We're looking at the previous swing high here as resistance and all these closes right here as support. So anywhere in this region, 52,000 to 49,000, or even the last important trend line we called out with the resistance up here could come into support down here as well. So from top to bottom, present day we're only down 9%. That would be another like 27, 25%, which I mean that's happened already on the way up. I mean we already had this one right here, about 24, 25%, and then all of these have been pretty violent on the way down. Present day, this one's only been a, let's see, 15%. So yeah, there could still be some more volatility to the downside, but certainly right now the risk looks to the upside. Any day here or any week now, we should be resuming out of here. So we know where we're at on the downside. We got our targets to the upside. Why this is really important though is because if we go to the BLX, I'm going to go to the daily time frame, the weekly, sorry, actually. And if you guys remember from time and time again, we've been talking about this resistance level potentially being the bottom of the next bear market, and we were waiting for a future confirmation, and potentially we are getting that right now where you can see the, let me just put this in real quick. Got the clear resistance right here with all those weekly closes, 59,000 and some change or so. You can see the weekly candles right now are closing above that, right around here, right? So if these weekly candles can close above here, that should potentially confirm the bottom of the next bear market, just like how we saw over here, where the weekly candles closed right here as significant resistance. It then became the floor for support, which became basically the floor of the bear market over here, and it happened over here as well. Boom. And if you're confused, you're gonna have to backtrack to my other videos, but essentially this point in time, this point in time, and this point in time all throughout history have been very much like the same as far as what time it took place in the bull market phase of like Bitcoin here after the halving and all that stuff. So go ahead and backtrack, but this is a very important level. We've been waiting for this for a while here. Yeah, so it's nice to see. If that plays out, then we're looking at an 85% drop to 59K. Would be, you know, anywhere up in this region up here. So anywhere between 2 to 300,000, which comes to my next case here, right? So after this high here is passed, after this high was passed, it's not much longer before we reach the top. Like the price should be quite parabolic, quite fast. There's always the famous saying, like, this time is going to be different. It might sound like that, it might feel like that. Certainly doesn't have to be, and certainly could be, but we're gonna hear, you know, we're gonna track it here in real time. Let's see what it looks like. Price going up into there from this angle, right? From here to here, like to peak in December, for example. If we peaked in December, I don't know, I don't need that line in, but if we peaked in December, right, this top line goes upwards of like 340,000. The bottom of the line is around 210, 220,000. So, and if it gets in there, it's only going to be in there for a few weeks. There's another way you could look at it. This is assuming we don't have the whole diminishing returns take place. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. This is assuming we don't have diminishing returns and we finish with an average of the two performances, just like these guys have been. The other way we could look at it though is if I add, and I'll leave them overlaid on the chart so you can see the difference. If we do have diminishing returns and we stay in this channel here, I don't know why it didn't come on. There it is. Okay. Let me put this in real quick. Let me just take out all the unnecessary fib levels that we don't need to look at. Just focus on the important ones. Okay, so you guys remember we looked at this chart before. Oh, I added an extra one. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so we looked at this before. Let me just go ahead and highlight these two ones. I'll make that one red, and I'll make this one green down here. Boom. So this is important, right? Oh, and we go to the monthly time frame on here to clean it up even more. Okay. So we're on the monthly time frame, and you can see from 2013 when Bitcoin had it touched this red line right after it came from the bottom of this trend line, the upward trending support, right? After it passes the midline in this month, it happened to be in April, it touches this red line perfectly, which is a Fibonacci level. I think it was a 786. If we could double check that for you guys real quick. Let me get rid of that. Pull this up. Yeah, 76.39. We have the middle line being the 50%, obviously the 1 and the 0. And then the 23.6 is the other one. Okay, so basically on this month, price touched the 73.6. And on this month in July, it bottomed and touched the 23.6. Just like how over here in the top, it touched it in April, touched the 78 or 76 level, sorry. And then it bottomed out here again in July on the same level, the 23.6. And then you can see on this special month here, October, the month is when we peaked our head back above the midline, right? This is our first month peaking the head back above the midline. This is the same month peaking our head back above the midline. So if history were to repeat itself, back in this cycle, it took literally just 1 month, the month of November, to go from bottom to top, which at this time for Bitcoin was a huge move. It went from $200 all the way up to $1,100-$1,200 in 1 month. So that was a 5x in price. That's crazy, right? Even over here, this one's a little different structurally, but same thing. October was the month to like close its head above here, and then boom, we had all the 2 months till top kind of thing. But this one, present day, let's say it was November, and we had to peak in November, and it was only a 1 month kind of pump, right? The top of this trend line goes to 130,000. If it were to be December, it'd be a little bit more. It'd be about 145,000 or so. But again, this is assuming Bitcoin has those diminishing returns. You can see actually the top lines that I cloned in from before stay pretty steady across here, but until we start to get farther out in time, this starts to regress and become smaller. This would stay linear to an extent, and just kind of grows all the way out there, and the price can have more room to grow from here. So those price targets in this would change. So we're going to see how price reacts coming into this trend line over here. If we're going straight up and we're completely oversold, like the RSI down here, right? This is the other key. Peeking our head back into the strengthy conditions. We've talked about this time again. We said the really important level to watch on the RSI was right here. We needed to get back above this, and we're peeking our head above it right now, right at 71.82. That's important because now you can see, it's usually the second test around that Bitcoin has a double peak, right? So this first peak over here, when Bitcoin did top out, it had a peak in the RSI of, what is that, 96. And then it had a second peak over here at 96, 97 again when it had its real top. Even over here, it had a double top. It wasn't as far of a drop like this one, but that's also because, note, the structure was different, more of a slow, steady climb. This was like a big double wave. This one's looking more like that same double wave, where we have a big wave, second wave coming. We had a peak over here at 91. So if we see RSI get above like the 85, 90 level, and prices all the way up at like 120,000, maybe it is at 300K, like that's going to be like the exit we're looking for. and then we're gonna, have to reassess and wait to hang on until we enter one of these longer-term bear markets again. Because it all sounds fun and it all looks easy here in real time. But we all know, I mean, I got my audience here that I'm still understanding who's watching the videos and who's trying to learn with me here. But let me get rid of this on the chart, sorry. So we all know that it's honestly pretty tough. It all sounds easy in real time. It all sounds easy on the videos here that I lay out for you. But in real time, a lot of people, they get, shaken up between all this stuff. A lot of people I know, they're new to space. You guys, are maybe buying up here for your first time. A lot of people bought up here and maybe got scared when price was coming down to these regions. Maybe you sold down here. Maybe you bought up here, sold down here. There's a lot of things you can do in advance. We're not here to chase momentum. We're here to anticipate it, right? So like these kind of calls like this, when you break the significant resistance, these are like where momentum could potentially be back in your favor because we're losing the downtrend, right? The trend's your friend until the end. Once we broke the downtrend right here, where this was going down, where we had resistance, and some more resistance right here. Once we broke above it, for sure, with the first day, you can see then the trend was not your friend anymore. We went up, and the new trend was an uptrend where we had some support. So you could ride it all the way out, right? So you could have like entered here, for example, and if you didn't believe in Bitcoin and you're not here to hang on to it for years at a time, like your exit would be when we lose that trend line. So like, you had a nice move here, right? That's a nice profitable event. And likewise too, I mean, if you don't believe in Bitcoin, like this is where people might be leaning in, for example, because the risk is down here if you lose that. But the reward, 87,000 plus, I mean, that's fantastic. You can hang on to it for much longer. It depends what your strategy is and what you're wanting to do with your trades and decisions and stuff. If you're here to do day trading stuff, it's going to require a lot of time, a lot of patience. If you're here to just build long-term wealth, then, you could pretty much buy the stuff with your eyes closed and like wake up 5-10 years from now, you're gonna look like a superhero. It depends what you're looking to get out of it. But at the end of the day, that's what I got for you guys on Bitcoin again. We had a nice little ramble in 11 minutes. I was trying to get through it quick because I want to run through Bitcoin dominance, why that's important. We could see on the weekly time frame, this is how you know where to be with altcoins versus Bitcoin, right? Right now, Bitcoin showing a little weakness because we had a recent rejection off the trend line that we've been calling out for a long time. Again, ever since we broke it over here, we had some support, a little support for a second here, but then it's been resistance once, now twice. So the thing is now we're coming into some local support here. You can see, I mean, the candles kind of closed a little bit here, some a little bit closes here. You can see it's slowing down a little bit. So if price can turn around right here, I can see like the little bit of the uptrend kind of coming in here, right? So if we can hold right around here, we would probably come tackle this line again. And if we break this line, it's really this neckline here that's important, because if we can clear back above 47% market share, Bitcoin is probably going to go on a tear, right? We're going to rip up to like 58%. The altcoins won't be doing so hot. Bitcoin would be loving that though. Or we resume off of this move though, and we come back down to the critical support by the double bottom we have, or the last little bottom we have all the way over here, 36%. And you already know that this in general is really good for the altcoins. And if we lose this or this, that's significantly more downside available for sure. But yeah, that's pretty simple. That's how it's going to be over here. It's easier to look at like Ethereum Dominance, for example. Let me go to log on this guy. Ethereum Dominance, you can see something similar but opposite, right? It has the upward trending support here that was previous resistance. It's now acted as support a couple times here. So that's pretty important, because you can see even the downtrend again, that was very short-lived, has gotten reversed again. So really the trend's your friend till the end. So for Ethereum, it's looking like we're trending upwards. We have that last resistance up here that's been double resistance, and you can see it was also resistance over here back in the day. So a break above that is going to lead to much more violent move to the upside, potentially taking out these highs at some point as well, which could get pretty interesting. But for right now, we got some room to go sideways until we don't. And Ethereum price though, right, against the US dollar. Let's go to the daily. Ethereum price has been really respecting this channel this whole way up. You can see we've recently made the new all-time high right here. On that day, we finally eclipsed that high, which is really important because we're back testing the same support. So Ethereum now, timing-wise, very similar with Bitcoin. Interesting to note. Usually it's a little bit later, but something to note is that it is pretty on time. So we're going to see how this all plays out. It's possible Bitcoin gets flipped by Ethereum momentarily in the cycle peak. We'll see about that as well though, but at the end of the day, we're here to gather as much Bitcoin as we can. All the altcoins are just complete speculation, just hanging on to them for good luck, trying to get some more Bitcoin with them. If they go to zero, they go to zero. Not a big deal, right? But the Ethereum, I expect it to outperform Bitcoin this cycle. So $4,000 to whatever it achieves versus like Bitcoin's top that we've already talked about. So we'll keep an eye on this guy, but she's looking ready to prime up and go because we're right now, like you see all the support on those daily wicks respecting this level. If we lose this level, then we have some support back down at the green line here, 3,500 bucks, right? No big deal. Let's take a look at XRP. XRP is definitely cooking up right now. You could actually see, boom, it's gonna converge right now on itself actually. So XRP is about to break out. By next video, you'll see a nice continuation move, most likely to the upside here. Like most likely to the previous resistance up here at $1.30. Once $1.30 breaks though, which realistically, once it breaks just this trend line in general, I don't really care about $1.30 anymore. After it breaks this trend line, we're going to be looking at the resistance at $2, and then after $2, the all-time high, which it will be also very short-lived. It's a lot more behind than Bitcoin and Ethereum's performance right now. So yeah, I expect this thing to be, once it's above all-time highs, like, I don't know, at least like $10 to $13 range, kind of like where Bitcoin and Ethereum relaxed at 65K and like 4,000. $10 to $13 is like that XRP's midway point, if you will. But after that, I don't really have a cycle peak for you. This is the never sell strategy that we like here, right? So we'll just run through the rest of them pretty quick. Stellar doing pretty good. Recently cleared above the resistance here at 33 cents or so, and now it's acting as support right now on this mid-trend line. So I would say as soon as we can clear our heads above the recent swing highs here at 40 cents, we should be playing with at least the top of this resistance trend line here and the horizontal resistance at 77 cents or 70 cents, the previous all-time high body closes. Taking a look at Cardano. Cardano is pretty much just going straight sideways since last video, although only then, you know, it's been going sideways enough to run into the trendline support that we have from here, from support and all these resistance levels back then, right? So Cardano is actually looking really good. This is a nice little entry. A loss of this trendline would be pretty damaging, but who knows? Maybe we come back down to these highs. Not a big deal since the fall off isn't so dramatic. It shouldn't be that bad. But a break of this, once we clear all these like little, you know, resistance lines here, you know, we're coming back up pretty violently because we're same thing, like all these guys are really primed to go, if that's the theme of the video that you guys can't already notice. Everything's pretty ready to launch because we broke significant resistance and turning into support here, right? So yeah, I really like Cardano's chart. I really liked XRP's chart, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Everything looks good, guys. I mean, it looks good until it's not. There's gonna be days when I come on here and I'm gonna tell you guys it doesn't look so good, right? But right now for Litecoin, also looking really good. Broke out of this resistance line, so you can see this is the like entry, if you will, nice little breakout. Can still confirm support like anywhere along this region or down here, right? So that's the risk to the downside, if you will, but besides losing these to the lower levels that we got down here. But a break above this little swing high, and like that's 215, we're going back 375 plus. Hasn't made an all-time high yet as well, so looking really ready to go. Take a look at Quant. How we doing? Oops, I did not mean to do that. How's Quant doing though? I don't think I charted on log. Yes, I do. Probably looks better on the daily, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So the daily, I don't really know how I feel about this chart right now though. Doesn't look as good as I thought. I don't want to make it work, but I kind of want to make it work, you know? Let's clean it up again. What do we see here? Let's clean it up. I'll show you how to TA live here, right? So we got some clear resistance right here. Lots of times price is coming up to it. So resistance, red for resistance, boom. And we got some clear support right here. Not much trending going on, more so sideways. A lot of indecision, pretty clear about that. So a break above this high of $330, price continues much higher. A break below 263, pretty damaging. Price will go lower. Where lower? Down to yeah, like 200 bucks, we'll call it. I like that. That's what we're looking at right here. Obviously, we have like the light resistance up here. But realistically, at this point in the trend, I'm not worried about that resistance because, yeah, a break above here would be pretty nice. Price discovery mode for a small coin like this would get pretty real pretty fast. So I like that. That's what we like here. Algo, is this log? Probably. Yeah, that looks about right. That was the breakout. Probably looks a little more clean like this looking back now because you can see the better breakout and even the retest looks cleaner. So yeah, note to self, that's how the trend line should have looked on this one. But yeah, this is really nice. We had a nice little breakout. Didn't make a higher high, still same resistance. So we'll go ahead and move the resistance up to here. That looks like the key resistance we're at right now. And we have some support, trending downward support, and then the local support down here. So that's our low in place. And then the local resistance is up here. A clear above that, boom, lift off, right? Telcoin. Telcoin is in the same boat. Man, everything is ready to go, baby. This is what we like to see. It's exciting times this end of the year. We got resistance, resistance, all that. Now acting as support. So looking really good on Telcoin right now as well. Riding out the support down here would be fine. Resistance up here. As soon as that's eclipsed, we got the last little resistance line before liftoff. How's Tron doing? Probably just hugging this line as usual, like every video. You should watch all the times we talk about Tron. Tron's just like riding this line all the time. You just go to weekly, right? It's right at the resistance though. So if we lose, if we get rejected here, not a big deal. We still got the fattest uptrend line ever in play right here. But as soon as we eclipse that high, which you can see something like that, right? As soon as we eclipse that one, it's back to liftoff for sure. The high in place of 18 cents, basically the previous all-time high closes. Boom, crazy. Holochain. Pretty simple. Nope. It's on the weekly though, but that's also why it looks like that. Holochain's pretty simple. Biggest bull flag ever. And then we had one more resistance line up here from that previous rejection. Resistance, resistance, and then broke out right here. It even back tested as support. And it's already resuming off. It made the higher high. So we actually are back testing that previous resistance right now. So this would be that extra nice little add-on play, if you will, here before we take out the previous high here. Which realistically could probably be lowered to here now since that's tapped it perfectly. So a clear above this swing high, and price is going to tackle that all-time high and much higher. How's Uniswap doing? Uniswap's not that bad, kind of ugly. Gonna clean it up. Does it look better on the weekly? Is that why? It does, but we'll go like that. It's still kind of a breakout. Can't really fix it to not be. So, but still, nonetheless, I don't really like the trend line on this one anymore. It's pretty much a sideways play here. So we got some support here. I'll move that. And we got some resistance there. Yeah, that looks good to me. Just keep the weeks like that. So we're going to be trading in here for a little while. If we break above the red, we're going up. If we break above green, we're going down. Pretty simple, just like the other one. And then I added, for the newbies, we got the Shibas. Let's see it. Let's be real with you guys, right? All right, Shiba. The thing is, it's right now, I mean, the thing is the RSI got really high, right? It hit 92. Over here, it hit 94. Over here, it hit 91. I will say, every time it does that, I mean, it wasn't good over here, right? That was a top. It went sideways for a few years. Over here, it was pretty good. It was a nice little breakout because it touched the like a breakout of like the whole bear market, if you will. And then it touched the previous all-time high. Price consolidated, made a nice little healthy bull flag, and boom, had a nice explosion, right? So this is pretty normal what you'd expect to see out of a move like that, especially with a small market cap coin like this. However, the daily time frame, the uptrend in play. I think I had it on the log. Yep, that makes sense. The uptrend in play, all these daily candles, we lost the support. And then you can see it's acting as current resistance. So, yeah, I had the one downtrend in line here. That was like on a 4-hour. It's not that important, so I'm going to get rid of that. The real resistance is by all these daily candle closes right here and those touches. So, the thing is this guy's got some work to do. It's got to prove itself, right? So, resistance up here at whatever number that is, 0.000007. And if we get rejected here again, the support is back down here all the way by the blah, blah, blah 5. If we lose that resistance, though, the previous support is going to be the previous all-time high for sure, and then that previous wick right there. So the thing is, though, is like I don't know if everyone's prepared for that because present day, that's still another 50% drop. That's totally in the cards, though, from the high all the way down. That's 60% down. Again, that's totally in the cards. That's the risky take, getting into coins like this. It may happen because we have some divergence. You can see the RSI made a high and a lower high, but the price made a high and a higher high. So you don't want to see that. But we'll see. I mean, small cap coin, easy to move around up and down. Yeah, I mean, this is also only the first time it's been in price discovery since its previous all-time high. So timing-wise, yeah, it's still early on its timeline. It could do like what Dogecoin did, right? With Dogecoin, it's either Shiba's right here for Dogecoin or Shiba's right here. That's the thing. So I don't really know. But with Dogecoin, Dogecoin's also pretty much just going straight sideways. We got the resistance up here at 35 cents. Very clear resistance, twice, 3 times, and then all the support resistance over here. You can see it was resistance, support, blah, blah, blah. So that's the key resistance right now. And again, we're going to change that to red for resistance. And then boom, got the support down here. Pretty simple, just straight sideways, all this chop. No money's going to be made, you know, playing all these up and downs. Oh my God, it's up or down 5% today, 10% today. The real money's going to be made when it's either broken above 36 cents and it's going to try to take out its all-time high of 70 cents. And hey, if you believe in Dogecoin and you think it's going to change the world, by all means, go for it. You know, hang on to it. And likewise, though, if we lose the support down here at like 15 cents, that'd be pretty damaging structurally. Probably come down to at least the swing high here of like 7 cents or so. Is there anything else? No, there's nothing there, man. That's it. It's pretty much 7 cents. Anywhere around this cluster is kind of free game, right? Just this region, 7, 8 cents, 6 cents, whatever. So that's what we see for Doge. This one, though, however, a lot more later in the game than the pumping phase, right? You can see it already had its major pump, and now it's undoing all the damage that was done from that expansion. Nice and sideways. This is relaxing. So this is where, you know, not many people are interested in it. Potentially the better time to be interested in it. So you can see right now, even where price is acting as, it's actually already turning a significant level into support. So I'll give it that level right there, because you can see it's been resistance and support over here. Support, resistance, resistance, support, all these resistance levels, and now it's back testing it as support right now. So we'll see how that holds for next time. But I added these guys for you. To be honest, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I just wanted to give you guys a really important update video. I thought it was important to do it. Thank you guys for sharing the time with me on this video. It's very important to focus in on these next coming months here. This is why we put in all our work, staring at these charts every day. We're here to execute. If you learned something new, hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment down below what you like about the videos. Winter season's coming up, so you already know there's going to be a little less car content out there, but I'm going to try my best to do what I can for you. Thank you guys for staying to the end of today's video, and I'll catch you in the next video.